Hello, welcome to today's lesson. My name is Poriam Sofori. I want to know your name. So feel free, go to the comment section, write down your name, where you are watching me from. If you're a learner, let me know the school that you attend, the name of your school. Okay, so today we have science for basic 4. Not only for basic 4, for all learners, because what we are going to look at today, BEC, they ask questions on it. SSE, they ask questions on it. So you need to understand it today, so that when you get to that level, you will not find it difficult. And I'm going to take my time to take you through everything, show you videos, pictures, illustrations. So today, after this lesson, even if they give you BEC questions, WASI questions today, if the questions are about these or on this topic, then you get 100 over 100, 10 over 10. I mean, you score everything, you get everything correct, right? So what we are going to look at is the digestive system. Let's look at it. So today, we are looking at the organs of the human digestive system. The topic for today is the organs of the human digestive system. So, human digestive system. I believe you have heard about digestive system, organs. Okay, you eat every day, right? You chew bones. You eat banku, fufu, rice. You eat rice balls, porridge, and kokonte, yes, kokonte, yam, plantain, and the rest. If I give you plantain right now, can you swallow the plantain? No. You can't swallow it. You have to break the plantain down. It has to be soft, smooth, so that I can pass here, come to this side of the body, and later come out. You know where it comes out? Early in the morning. You remove something from your body. You go to the toilet to do it. You go to the restroom. You go to the washroom to do it. So the food that we eat, it doesn't come out like that. If you go to the washroom, you don't see the rice again. You don't see the fufu again. You see it to be something different, with different smell, with different color. It is the food that we eat that comes out. And it comes out in different states, in different form. In fact, we don't even want to see it. But when we get the food, our attention, everything is on the food. We make sure we eat, we lick our hands. We make sure we consume everything with joy, with happiness. But when the thing is coming out from the body, you don't want to even look at it. You want to run away from it. After you have removed it from the body, that's all. You don't want to even look at it again. So today we are going to look at the stages, the steps, what happens to the food when it goes into the mouth, and what causes it to change, the state that it will come out, and when we see it, we feel unpleasant. We feel what? We feel unpleasant. So today that's what we are going to look at, digestive system. Yes, it's all about the food that we eat. When the food goes into the body, it digests, or it breaks into different or smaller pieces. The body takes what it needs. The part that is not needed by the body, it comes out as feces. That is what we go to toilet to make sure it comes out. So today's lesson is about digestion. is about digestion. It's all about the food that we eat, how this food is broken down into smaller parts in the body, and how the body also absorbs or takes the nutrients in the food, the good things that the food contains, how the body takes them, how the body uses it, and the parts that are unable to digest or break down, the waste ones, the ones that the body was not able to use, how it comes out. That is what we are looking at. And I believe by the end of the lesson, you enjoy, you understand it from different angle, because I'm going to show you videos, I'm going to show you pictures, I'm going to draw. Today I will also draw. Don't worry at all. I'm here for you. Let's go to the board. Okay, so here, these are the keywords. These are the keywords. The first word is organ. Organ. So organ is part of the human body. Our body starts from cells. From cells, we have tissues, then organs will come, and then we have organ system. So the digestive system is made up of different organs, different parts. So these parts come together to form what we call the digestive system. Today, the topic is about digestive system. So we are looking at the organs of the digestive system. So the first word here is organ. The next word is system. System. So when you talk of system is made up of different parts, different organs that come together to perform a particular thing or to achieve a common thing. Okay, so digestion. Digestion is all about breaking down food into smaller parts. Breaking down food into smaller parts, you get to know the definition for it. But anytime you hear about digestion, we are talking about how the food that we eat goes into the body, how this food is broken down into pieces or into parts, and how the body takes what it needs and make sure the part that is not needed is passed on. Okay, so the next word is esophagus. Esophagus. So this is a word, or this is one of the organs of the digestive system, one of the parts that help digestion take place. So esophagus, we will look at it. Rectum is also one of the organs. Before the food, the waste will come out. The waste is kept somewhere, and the place that stores the waste, the feces, is the rectum. We will look at it. So let's move on. What food did you eat this morning? Do you know what happened to the food in your body? Our body is made up of different parts that perform different functions for growing strong and healthy. Examples of organs are liver, kidney, skin, stomach, heart, intestine, and lungs. When different organs come together or work together to perform a specific function, it is called a system. So we have seen that a system is when two or more parts come together to perform a specific function. Okay, so what is digestive system? The digestive system refers to the group of organs in the body that work together to break down food, absorb nutrients, and remove waste. So the digestive system performs three key things. One, they break down food, the food that we eat. It is the digestive system that will break the food down. It will make sure the food is divided into smaller parts. The next one, it absorbs nutrients. After the food has been broken down into smaller parts, the energy in it, the nutrients in the food, the good things that the food contains, the body takes it, absorbs it, and uses it. The body uses it for growth, for energy, and for it to function. The next or the last thing is that the digestive system makes sure the parts that the body doesn't need comes out. It doesn't have to remain in the body. The good ones are used by the body, the bad ones need to come out. And it is the function, the duty, the role of the digestive system to ensure that the unused, undigested, the the waste will come out of the body. So anytime we talk about digestion or digestive system, whenever we mention system, we are talking about different parts that come together, help break the food down. And then after that, the nutrient in the food, these organs will absorb it for the body. Apart from that, the ones that are not good, the waste that is not needed by the body, these organs make sure they come out of the body. So just imagine a whole week you have eaten, you go to the toilet and no feces is coming out. All the waste is inside your body. What do you think will happen? Will you be okay? Will you feel comfortable? That is why anytime we finish eating, after some time, we go to the washroom to make sure the waste in the body comes out. So that is what we are doing today. Now, let's move on. So what is digestion? Digestion is the process of breaking down food into smaller forms that the body can use. So anytime you talk of digestion, you should know that there is a difference between digestive system and digestion. Digestion is a process. Listen, digestion is a process of breaking the food down into smaller parts, into smaller form that the body can use. If you have yam, you put the yam in your mouth, what will you do to the mouth? You use your teeth, your tongue, to chew it. Why do we chew? We make sure the yam is broken down into smaller pieces or parts. So digestion is all about breaking down this food so that the body can what? Absorb the nutrients in it. If the food is not broken down, there is no way the energy in the food can be used by the body. So you should understand that the digestive system, we are talking about the organs that help digestion take place. And digestion digestion here is the process. Is what? The process. The process of what? Breaking down food into smaller forms that the body can what? Use. I hope you are following. Okay. Now, which part of the body helps break down food into smaller forms? Why do you think the food we eat should be broken down to smaller forms? Now we have a picture of how the digestive system looks like. So this is how the digestive system looks like. Look at it well. So digestion starts from the mouth. Inside the mouth, we have the teeth, we have the tongue. We have the teeth, we have the tongue. So what do you think the teeth is used for? The teeth, it breaks the food down. And then the tongue too will be turning the food. The tongue will be turning the food, will be pushing the food to the right place where the teeth will get it right and break it. Apart from that, we have saliva gland. So the saliva gland in our mouth, that also supply saliva to the food. You know, saliva is liquid. So this liquid is added to the food that the tongue and the teeth is what? Breaking down. So it makes it what? Easier for them to also break it down. And it helps the food to what? To become soft, smooth. So that is one thing that you should know. So here, this is the mouth. Now after the mouth, the tongue, the teeth, the saliva has chewed or digested, or after they have broken down their food here, that is not all. It has to come down. Now it passes here. This side, so here we have the teeth here. This side is the mouth. We have the tongue. And then we have the saliva. We have the saliva here. So these are the things or the parts in the mouth. So here, the teeth is there, the tongue is there, the saliva too is also here. what happens is that the teeth is very hard, so it breaks the food. The tongue helps the food, or the tongue turns the food and make sure it turns the food so that the teeth can work on it. And then the saliva is a liquid, so it is released on the food, just like water. It is released on the food and it helps the digestion, or the teeth and the tongue work effectively. Now, after these things have been done, after the mouth has finished, the food passes here. This is a tube. So this is what we call the esophagus. The esophagus is from here up to this side. So this long tube is what we call the esophagus. So the esophagus will carry it and bring it here. So when we talk of the esophagus, we are talking about the small long tube that connects the mouth and the stomach. So from the mouth, it passes through the esophagus and comes to this side. This is what we call the stomach. This is the stomach. Have you seen it? So when the food also comes here, do you know what? That is not all. In the stomach, the food will be here. Here too, the stomach will also break the food down. The stomach will also break the food down. There are some organisms in the food. They kill germs and other things. So when the food gets here, that is not the end. The food is further broken down into smaller parts, into smaller units that the body can use. Now, after that, it will move to small intestine. So if you look at this, we have big intestine here, or large intestine. So this is the large intestine. It passes here like this. But it doesn't come to the large intestine. From the stomach, it comes to the small intestine. The small intestines are here. In the small intestine, let me tell you one thing. That is where the nutrients in the food, the energy in the food, the good things that the food needs, that is where the food nutrients are absorbed by the body. So the intestine check and pick the good things the food contains and give it to the body. That is what the intestine, the small intestine, does. So listen, from the stomach, it comes to the small intestine. In the small intestine, the good things, the nutrients in the food, that is where the body absorbs it. So if the food is here, the nutrients in it doesn't go to the body. When it gets here, the nutrients in it doesn't go to the body. When it comes to the stomach, the nutrients in it doesn't go to the body. It is only in the small intestine that the nutrients in the food is absorbed. So here the food is broken down. Here it also breaks the food down into smaller units. After here, that is where the body is going to take what it needs from the food. So it starts from the small intestine. The small intestine will take the good things the body needs in the food. Now after that, the small intestine will give the food to large intestine. This is a large intestine. Have you seen it? So the large intestine too will also take something from it. Here, the small intestine has taken the nutrients in it. When it comes to the large intestine, it also absorbs all the water components that is left in the food. So here, in the large intestine, the water in the food is absorbed. It takes the water in it and gives it to the body. After that, what is left is not needed again. So they need to come out of the body. Listen, these are the small intestine and the large intestine. These are the parts that the body absorbs, or these parts help the body absorb what it needs. So the small intestine absorbs, what does it absorb? Nutrients in the food. The large intestine also absorbs water or liquid components in the food. So the food that we eat, here When it gets here, the food, these parts will break the food down into smaller parts, into smaller units, into smaller form, and then it will pass through so that it can pass through this small hole. When it passes through and gets here, the stomach too will also grind or digest or break down the food into further smaller parts. So here the stomach too breaks the food down, and there are some organisms or acid and other things in the stomach that kills these parts. There are some enzymes here. These enzymes, they kill all the harmful components in the food that is in the stomach. So in the stomach, the food is further broken down into smaller parts, and all harmful components of the food are also killed here. From the stomach, the food goes to the small intestine. In the small intestine, listen, in the small intestine, the food is not broken down again. When it gets to the small intestine, the nutrient in it is taken by the body. From the small intestine, it goes to the large intestine. Listen, the small comes before the large. In the large intestine, the water part of the food is also absorbed. So here, absorption takes place in all the intestine, the small intestine and the large intestine. But you should know that the small intestine takes the nutrients, then the large intestine take the water components of it. Now, after the nutrient and the water component have been absorbed, what is left comes to this side. This is a store. We call it rectum. It's a store that stores the waste. So from the large intestine, what is left is not needed again. So the body will store it in the rectum. So sometimes you feel like going to the toilet, you feel like going to the restroom, you feel like going to the washroom, but you try and manage it. Where is the feces? The feces are stored here. So let me manage it. I'll get home and then do it. So if you are managing, the waste or the feces comes here. So the rectum is just a storage where feces are kept. If it becomes full, then you feel pressed to visit the washroom. So when this side becomes full, this side, the last point of the digestive system is the anus. That part will open. When it opens, then all the waste in the rectum will come out. If the anus is not open, the feces will be in the rectum. So the rectum is just a storage of feces, and the anus is the exit point. So food starts digesting from here. Digestion ends and exit the body from here. The food also exits the body from here. So food enters the mouth, it enters here, and it leaves the body here. It enters here as food, delicious food, but when it is leaving, it doesn't live like delicious food. It doesn't even live like food. It lives like waste. So this is what you should understand. These are the parts or the organs of the digestive system. Okay, so let's move on. Now we have seen the part. Let's read. I hope reading will help us understand it. Now, the first part is the mouth. This side, this is the mouth. Let's read. The mouth is the first organ where digestion starts. The teeth in the mouth chew the food into smaller pieces. The salivary glands in the mouth produces saliva to mix the smaller pieces of food to make it soft and easy to swallow. So what happens here is that the food is chewed so that it can be swallowed, and during chewing, saliva is mixed with it, so it makes the food easy for chewing and also make it soft. Now from the mouth, the tongue will also work. The tongue helps in the chewing and swallowing of food. So after the chewing or even during chewing, the tongue helps the mouth to chew it, helps the teeth to chew it, and after that the same tongue will send the food to the esophagus. So before the food can move from here to here, it is the duty of the tongue to push the food from the mouth to the esophagus. Okay, so we have seen that the tongue sends the food to the esophagus. At the same time, the tongue helps the food during chewing. The tongue helps the teeth, these parts, the mouth, to chew the food. Okay, now this side too is esophagus. This is the esophagus. We have seen what the esophagus is. This long tube here. What is the function of the esophagus? It is the long tube or pipe that carries food from the mouth to the stomach. The esophagus is also called the gullet. So another name for esophagus is gullet. Okay, now we have seen that from the mouth, the food passes here to the stomach. So it is the esophagus' duty to carry the food from the mouth to the stomach. Now let's see what happens in the stomach. The stomach receives and stores the food from the esophagus. It contains acid and enzymes that break the food down again into smaller pieces. The stomach acid also kills germs found in the food. The stomach then passes the food to the small intestine. So in the stomach, the food is stored there. When the food goes to the stomach, it is broken down again into smaller parts. There are some enzymes in the stomach and some stomach acid. These enzymes and stomach acid kill all harmful germs in the food. So in the stomach, the food is broken down into smaller parts. At the same time, all harmful germs in the food, the stomach acid and the enzymes make sure they are killed. Now from the stomach, the food is passed to small intestine. I've told you what the small intestine does. So in the small intestine, it is the long and narrow winding tube that absorbs nutrients from the digested food. The pieces of food that could not break down and the unused pieces are then passed on to the large intestine. So in the small intestine, the work is simple. The work is just simple. The small intestine absorbs the nutrients in the food and then leave the rest, passes the rest to the large intestine. The large intestine, it is also called the colon. The colon. So in the large intestine, that is the big tube or pipe, but not as long as the small intestine, meaning the small intestine is longer than the large intestine. But here, the large intestine is bigger or larger than the small intestine. Okay, so in the small intestine absorbs water from the food pieces into the body. So in the large intestine, the water components of the food, of the digested food, is absorbed by the large intestine into the body. The remaining pieces of food are passed on to the rectum as waste or feces. So from the large intestine, what is left is what we see as feces, or what we call as feces, as stool. You go to the hospital and they ask you to bring your stool, your toilet. Let me put it in that way for you. So from the large intestine, then it goes to the rectum. It is a part of the digestive system that stores the waste, food or feces. So the rectum doesn't do anything apart from keeping the feces or the waste. So the rectum is just a container or just a storage part of the digestive system that stores the food that is not needed again, the waste, what we call the feces or the stool, the toilet. So the rectum stores it. Now it comes to the last part, that is the anus. It is the last part of the digestive system that allows waste food or feces in the rectum to move out of the body. This is the teeth. You put the food in your mouth, the teeth will break the food down into smaller parts. It will grind it. The tongue too is there. The tongue will turn the food to help the teeth break it down. Okay, so in the mouth, we also have salivary gland. The salivary gland supply saliva to the food to make it soft for the teeth and the tongue to work on it. Okay, so let's look at it. Have you seen it? Your tongue, if the food is inside, you do justice to it. So it's help break the food. So digestion start from here. So this is the mouth. Digestion start from the mouth. Listen on. Okay. So after you have finished chewing the food in the mouth, it comes to this side. This is what we call the esophagus. So the tongue will send the food to the esophagus. Here, this is the long tube called the esophagus. So the esophagus carries the food from here and give it to this part. This part is the stomach. Okay, so let's look at it. So this is the esophagus. Now the food will come to the stomach. This is the stomach. Have you seen it? This is the stomach. So we know the function of the stomach. The stomach too will store the food, but after that, the stomach will break the food down again. The stomach will break the food again. It will break it down again into smaller form. In the stomach, we have what we call the enzymes. We have what we call the acid, the stomach acid. The enzymes and the stomach acid, they kill all germs in the food. All germs in the food. When they get here, they are killed by the stomach acid. And the enzymes too. But here you should understand, apart from the germs being killed, the food is also broken down again. It breaks down the food into further smaller particles. Now, let's move on. We have seen the stomach. So from the mouth to the esophagus, from the esophagus to the stomach, we know the functions of all of them. Now let's move on. So this is the stomach. So from the stomach, it comes to where? Oh. From the stomach, this is the stomach. From the stomach, it comes to the small intestine. This is the small intestine. If you look at this, the small intestines are here, this side. That is where the nutrients in the food is absorbed. The small intestines send the nutrients in the food to the body. I'm saying that the small intestine, it takes the nutrients in the food and give it to the body. That is the work of the small intestine. Okay, so let's move on. So this is the small intestine. So from the small intestine, where does it go? You should know that the small intestine, it is longer than the large intestine. Okay, so from the small intestine, it goes to the large intestine. So this is the large intestine. Have you seen it? This is the large intestine, the big one here. Have you seen it? So from the small intestine, the food goes to the large intestine. The duty of the large intestine is to take the water in the food, the water components in the food. It takes it and give it to the body. So that is the work of the large intestine. So that is the large intestine. Okay. Now from the large intestine, it goes to this side. This side, what we call the rectum. What we call the rectum, this is the side. What's the function of the rectum? I taught you, or I explained to you. The rectum is a place where the waste, the food waste is kept. That's the last but one part. The waste is kept there. It stores the feces here. So the rectum is a storage where the feces are kept or stored, waiting to be removed from the body. Okay, and then from the rectum, it goes to the anus. From the rectum, it goes to the anus. So this is the anus. Oh, there's another one here. So here too, we are going to look at it, the journey of the food from the mouth to the anus. So look at this. Let's watch it. So have you seen? Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. So where is the food? Okay. Now the food is here. The food is here. It's supposed to start from here. I don't know why it is. So this is the food. Have you seen it? Now from the mouth, esophagus, it comes to this side. This is the stomach. Have you seen the stomach? Okay, so from the stomach, it will move. Let's see where it will pass. The stomach, then to the small intestine. So it will be in the small intestine like that. Have you seen the small intestine? Then to the large intestine. From the large intestine to the rectum, and then it comes to the anus. Let's look at it once again. So this is the food coming from this side. So this is the food, the esophagus, straight to the stomach. From the stomach, the next organ, it will move to small intestine. The small intestine, from it will go to the large intestine and then come to this side, the rectum, and then anus. So this is how the digestive system is, and this is how food is broken down from the mouth up to this last stage where it's excreted from the body or it exits from the body. This is what you should understand. So if you are asked to identify the organs of the digestive system, they are on the board. We have the mouth, esophagus, stomach. We have small intestine, large intestine. We have anus here. This side is what we call the rectum. So it didn't show rectum, so rectum is here. Now, which of these parts, I'm coming to ask you a question, which of these parts is called the gullet? Which of these parts is called the gullet? Is the esophagus. Is the esophagus. So the esophagus is called the gullet. This is the esophagus, called the gullet. Okay, which of these parts is the first part of digestion, or which of these parts does digestion starts? Yes, digestion starts from these parts. That's the mouth. Okay, so which part is also called the which part contains the stomach acid and the enzymes? Is the stomach. Okay, which part of the digestive system absorbs nutrients? It is the small intestine. The small intestine absorbs nutrients. Which part of the digestive system absorbs water? It is the large intestine. The large intestine absorbs water. Okay, which part of the digestive system stores the food, the waste food, the feces? It is this part. The name is not there, but it is rectum. Which part is the last organ of the digestive system, this side, the anus. So if you are asked to write the organs of the digestive system, these are what I expect you to write. If it is drawn for you and you are to label them, I know today you have seen that these are the parts, the names of the parts. So the mouth is here, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine, the rectum, the anus. And we have seen the functions of all of them. And we are saying that the anus removes or opens for the waste to come out of the body. The rectum also stores the waste, the feces. The small intestine take the nutrients in the food and give it to the body. The large intestine also take water, the water in the food, and give it to the body. In the stomach, the food is broken down into smaller units again. Apart from that, there are stomach acid and enzymes. They also help kill all germs in the food. Now when it comes to the esophagus is just a messenger. It sends the food from the mouth to the stomach. So it's just a long tube that carries the food from the mouth to the esophagus. From the mouth to the stomach. So the esophagus carries food from the mouth to the stomach. Now, the next one, or the first one here, is the mouth. The mouth contains the teeth, the tongue, the salivary gland. This is the part that digestion starts. So in the mouth, the teeth break the food down. The tongue also helps the chewing. It turns the food. And then the salivary gland releases saliva to the food to make it soft and easy for the teeth and the tongue to chew. So this is all about digestion. Anytime you put food into our mouth, these are the parts that it passes. It passes through all these and come out. But we don't see with our eyes. We don't see this with our eyes. We call this digestion. Digestion is all about breaking down food into smaller parts, taking the good part of the food by the body and then giving out the bad ones from the body, or removing the bad ones from the body. So this is in the intestines. That is where the nutrient in it is taken. That is where the water in it is taken. And after that, the part that the body doesn't need again comes out through the anus. So this is all about digestion. Anytime you are eating, remember that the food will go through all these organs before they get stored in the rectum. In the morning, you go and empty it. You go to the washroom and empty it. So the feces comes from the rectum through the anus, goes straight to the toilet bowl. That is all about digestion, and I believe you have enjoyed the lesson. If you have questions for me, feel free. We are coming to the end. We have seen what digestion is. Breaking down food. If the food is not broken down, we cannot take, or the body cannot take the nutrients in it. The water in it, the body cannot take it. So after the food is broken down and the nutrient has been taken, the water in it has been taken, the rest is not needed again. So it has to come out. So here, the food is broken down, it passes here. When it gets here, it is also broken down. The nutrient in it are absorbed by the intestine. The water in it is also absorbed by the intestine. After that, the food, the rest is passed on to the rectum as feces. And then the anus will also make sure it leaves the body. So that is digestion. Question for me? If you have question for me, you can ask. I've asked you questions here, but I have more questions to ask. Let's go back. Let's go back. So that is what we have learned. We have learned that the digestive system refers to the group of organs in the body that work together to break down food, absorb nutrients, and remove waste. The mouth, esophagus, intestine, and other are organs of the digestive system, and others are organs of the digestive system. Okay, so this is exercise 1. We have exercise 2 here. We have exercise 3, exercise 4. Home assignment 1. So this is what you are to do for me. Home assignment 1, home assignment 2. This is what you are to do for me. Take your time and do the work. My name is Poriam Zofori. Apart from this science textbook or this science, we have Asante Tree, Ekuapem Tree. In fact, our science textbook is different from the rest. Why? Because our textbook comes with a QR code. You scan the QR code for each topic. Each topic has its own QR code. You scan it and you get the video lesson. So after you have read the text, you can watch the video lesson. We give you a teacher standing there teaching you what you have in the book. That is why you need to choose Kokromoti. We have Asante Tree, we have Ekuapem Tree. All our books are good. After watching, if you don't understand anything, please go to your teachers, your parents are there, they will help you. You can also WhatsApp the number here, ask questions if you have questions. My name is Poriam Zofori. Thank you.